Hello and welcome into a rather sun-filled tea time here today, and I'm on a bit of a roll this week doing quite a few interview shows, and it's an absolute joy to connect with you and also my special guests, some of whom are appearing for conscious living events later in the year. And the people that I have for you today, there's two of them. They're a couple, Lila and Arnhem from Illumina, who are the Sacred Chant, I was going to say experts. They just hold such a beautiful space for healing and divine contemplation. And they are renowned for their astonishingly powerful live performances and have indeed played at the Royal Academy of Arts and the Indian High Commission, as well as for Alternatives in London, and they're going to be coming down to Bournemouth for us on the 22nd of October. They have plenty of other things going on too, and I'm really curious to know how they met and how they got singing and doing all their stuff. So let's introduce Lila and Arnhem to Tea Time. So welcome to Tea Time, Lila and Arnhem.
Thank you.
Hey. Welcome indeed. Now, we've got a little bit of history, haven't we, Lila?
We have.
Yeah, we actually met online as part of the Divine Michelle Holmes True Reflection Challenge back at the beginning of the year. And we were in each other's tribe for like daily accountability. And I always so loved your little videos and the connection in there. And, you know, it's a very special process, that, wasn't it?
Yeah, really powerful process. Yeah, I also felt the same. I loved watching yours and feeling your feedback and your responses. It was really, I felt a connection and a resonance with you.
Exactly.
Yeah, very powerful process with Michelle. It was the second time I'd done that True Reflection Challenge, and it was very much about kind of allowing ourselves to be ourselves and be visible in our authenticity, and just allowing whatever wants to pour through in this life to be truly real and nourishing for ourselves and others. So yeah,
it was incredible to have that honest feedback from, I think there's probably about 7 or 8 of us in our tribes, and to see how people do see you and how you then respond to them and how positive we all are for each other. It was extraordinary, just so heartening. And then we took it a step further and actually met up with each other in London, didn't we? With Miranda, that's right. Miranda was there too, wasn't she? And I think I'd just been trouble with my eye, and I was in a bit of a state, I seem to remember. And I bumped into Rebecca Campbell on the way, and this is how all this. We were shown there's some sort of guidance going on here, because this is leading us to what we're going to be talking about today, amongst other things. And then you told me where your website was, and I listened to your music, and I was like absolutely blown away with the quality of what you guys are bringing through. And I just made a wish to the universe that somehow to get you down to conscious living events. So we've done it. So amazing. So how did you two meet each other? I'm so curious to know. What is the story there?
Please try.
Whenever we're asked that question, there's a short answer and then there's a long answer. So
can you do a medium one?
We could do a medium one. All right. So we'll do a little bit more than a shorter one, a bit more detail. So we met at a friend of ours. Well, my friend who was her friend as well.
I just recently met her. They'd been friends for a while.
Okay.
I just did a 5 rhythms dance the week before, and she happened to move into a house just around the corner from me, and the party was a housewarming party.
Yeah.
That she invited me to.
Yeah.
And
so she'd already told me that, oh my God, you've got to meet this new friend of mine. We're so similar, and she could be my twin, and you got to meet her. So we got introduced in the party, and that was it. We literally just hit it off straight away. And we spent the whole party just completely in conversation with each other, just engrossed in conversation with each other. And the backstory to that is And the rest is also history. That was back in 1935.
Yeah, back in the last millennium, yeah.
In that way.
Back in the good old days. And I had been doing a meet your soulmate meditation that I downloaded from a really good website that doesn't exist anymore. And that you were supposed to do that for 60 days, and we met on the 40th day. You were supposed to do that every day for 60 days. And we later found out that she'd also been doing
so I'd done this really powerful shamanic women's weekend workshop thing about realigning ourselves with our feminine power and clearing our energy field of old relationships and past things that were no longer helpful anymore, and just freeing our energy field up, really. And as I was leaving the workshop, she was the lady who was this wonderful shaman, and she also called herself a modern witch, and she had made these amazing magical bath salts. And she said, if you put them in your bath and you want some healing, or if you want to call something in, you can just put the intention over the bath and do that. And she said, you can call in your soulmate. And my ears pricked up and I was like, soulmate? Soulmate, yes, I want it. And I did the ritual, a few days later, and lit the candle and made the beautiful intention, and felt very powerful. And then I think it was about 10 days, 2 weeks later, that's when we met at the party. And we didn't know this about each other until a few months after we'd been
quite a few months later, almost a year. We must have been discussing something or the other, and it turned out that we'd both been doing these practices that
sure, that just shows how magical, true magic happens when you place your intention in the right way, and that other people are doing it as well, and you hand it over to the universe to bring the right people in at the right time to meet. But you're right about it needs a bit of time to percolate through, doesn't it? Because time is a bit of this dimension, and of course in spirit you two have probably known each other all through all your past lives by the feeling of it. Is that what you're getting? Yeah. So it's only a matter of time in this incarnation before you would meet again. And what was it like when you first sung and played music together? What was that like for you?
It was,
we were
crying.
Both in tears. We couldn't quite believe what was happening. Like we couldn't quite put it into words. I can feel it now as we're talking. Just it was really moving beyond anything we could have imagined. We just wanted to sit together and sing, and we would do that in the mornings. That seemed to be when we felt drawn to do it. You'd bring the CDs back from where you were working at that time, selling music in this spiritual shop in Covent Garden, and we'd sing these songs, and he would play the guitar, and it was just it was so special. It was so special. We kind of were looking at each other. We were both crying, and we're just like,
we've got to everyone has to experience this.
Right, and then you knew that it was your gift to share. Yeah,
it was very powerful.
It wasn't even like, we want to do this. It was like, we have to do this. We have to do this.
Yeah, this beauty has to be shared. Has to.
Yes.
We can't just keep it private.
But at the same time, you're honouring your relationship that is holding all of that too. So you obviously do keep that integrity. Don't give it all away.
No, it is totally dependent on the quality of our relationship. And if we are not diligent and alert and honest and communicating and all these things that make a good relationship, we are not on top of all that, then there's no way we could make the music that we make. It won't happen. Not gonna happen. It would become obsessive and selfish, and that would show in the music, and I don't know, the music would definitely get tainted.
Yeah, and it would become maybe more of a performance, because this is interesting, this word performance, isn't it? It's like, you know, when the old style version of the word performance is you go and perform, you put on an act. But what you guys are doing, you're expressing from your heart and through your voice and through your spirit. It's just that this is an expression. It just happens to be performing.
Absolutely. We just happen to have the microphones. That's it.
Yeah.
We often say before a gathering, we say, guys, all of us either going to sing or we're all going to swim. So it's all of us together in this next couple of hours. It's not just us, you know, versus, you know, us to you. It's all of us. Let's all be performers, or let's all be audience, whichever way we all look at it, you know.
Yeah, so you're all involved with it. So do people sing along with you? And
absolutely, yeah. There's no force, you know, it's an invitation. People are welcome to get up. Many times they just get up and there's so much energy, they want to move their bodies, sing and ecstatic dance, and so it's all very
it's a whole
communal
flow, isn't it? Like some of it is deeply stilling and meditative and quiet, inwardly, you know, quiet, and of course we're singing, and some of it can get quite energized and joyful and celebratory, and just really that's when the people tend to kind of want to move the energy.
Sure, exactly, and there's room for that. So I'm feeling that you don't really have seats, that you're more kind of connected to the ground, to the earth, and then you can move your body from there rather than feeling that you're stuck in a chair.
Yeah, and also chairs are not very holistic for the body.
They're not, are they?
They're
sitting in one here, but anyway, yeah.
And the way the human body has to fold onto a chair, it feels like it should fit that way, but it actually isn't very good for the hips and the knees and the bones and ankles and everything, and the blood circulation. So we just like to, if possible, you know, there are people who find it uncomfortable, so that's fine.
Sure.
But we're always on the floor if we can manage it, and it's all about just all of us just sitting together and just having a nice spiritual time, all of us together. And we're consciously adamant about that, you know. Of course, someone may not be feeling like joining in. That's perfectly fine. That's, you know, but there's a really an open invitation. Let's all cook this meal together.
And I think even if people don't necessarily join in with singing, I mean, most people do, because it just feels like the sounds pull people into it. But if people don't feel like singing, they're still joining in. You know, they're still there. They're still in this bowl of connectivity and you know,
presence as well. They're just being in presence.
That's the word.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a very tangible, visceral field of presence that gets created when they're together with this shared intention.
You know, that's the power of the music, and because the music is not aggrandizing the self or an aspect of human experience, you know, I love you, you love me, everything I do it for, you know, all of that. It's the very nature of the music is it serves something bigger than itself. It's in service to something that is a collective rather than you know, a me. It's a we rather than a me. So it tends to be actually easier to do it in a way. We both come from performance backgrounds, and we were very surprised that we didn't have to perform this at all. We could step away from that pressure and just let the flow take over. I don't know how to say it. You know.
I mean, it's interesting because any kind of performery, trying to do a performance, kind of got washed out through doing it. Any part that was kind of trying to be something, or trying to be good, or trying to be impressive, or whatever, all these little parts of ourselves that all of us have in different ways, but like it was like the mantras just kind of washed all of that out, and continue to, like, anytime that might come up a little bit, it kind of washes it out,
bring you back into clarity of the moment, being a channel.
what we're exactly like, and what we're even really doing there. Is this for me so I can look good and sound good and all this kind of stuff?
And get praise.
And get praise and get affirmation and get this, that and the other. And, you know, again, which isn't wrong or bad. It's just part of the human story. But it feels like it provides this amazing space for not only in us, you know, in everybody who's there to kind of clear out the tightnesses and the places where we separate ourselves from ourselves and each other and life and God, and, you know. Yeah.
Well, yeah, Lila, also you're a yoga teacher, aren't you? But as well, I can tell you talking about opening the body and things like that. And I tell you what, though, you've just done a beautiful introduction to a track. I think, I'm sure listeners or viewers are going to be, go on, play us some of your stuff, please. So would you like to introduce the track that you've chosen to play now, and why you've chosen it, please?
So I'll start and then you take it.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
Thank you.
The track is Angsang Waheguru. That's the title of the track. And Leela will share the meaning of it. She came up with the melody, and then we both came up with the arrangement and recorded it. And it's off our first album, Illuminate. And yeah.
Angsang Waheguru. This is a mantra from the words are from the Sikh tradition, which is quite connected to Kundalini Yoga, which is the yoga that I teach. And this particular version came through when I was doing my teacher training, and it was it just came through as a blessing. And the words mean, with every cell of my being, with every limb, with everything that I am, I exclaim, Saraswati just fell over.
That's so cool.
That's amazing. She's totally announcing herself in the room. So it was totally Saraswati that was kind of like channeling this through us. With every cell of my being, I exclaim, wow, wonder, joy, at life, at this expression of life, at life in all these infinite expressions. I exclaim, wowness.
And also to that part within me that is constantly bringing me from darkness to light, from ignorance to knowledge, and that within and without, that is constantly helping me evolve. So it's a real joyful exclamation. But the track is very meditative, and I really enjoy listening to it because it's just got this quality of subtle joy, like cellular joy rather than
it's not quite that kind of ecstatic kind of joy like you were saying. It is that more inward, just like deep gratitude, deep joy.
Wow. Wow. The joy, the cellular joy that you were talking about there, Arnhem.
Yeah.
Yeah. It goes into, it's just experience that's difficult to put into words, actually. But lovely to have shared that with listeners and viewers, and lovely to have shared that with you, because we've just played that whole track and just sat here together and done it. So thank you for that. That feels like a really special sharing. What those bits in the middle that, sorry, I don't know how to describe it, that you were doing, Arnhem, were they just sort of just sounds coming through? Are they words or expression? What were you adding to that beautiful mix there?
Yeah, that song has an interesting third voice in it. So that voice that you heard that in the middle doing the solo was one of my very close friends, Kedar Sharma, and very amazing singer. And he comes from he grew up in a specific state, region in India. Which has a very specific vocal style, which you just heard, and it's the fishermen of Bengal, and they go out, and when they're fishing in the sea, they sing these songs which kind of sound similar to what you heard. And so I wanted to bring him in and just let him loose and unleash him into this track and see what he came up with. And to his credit, he's so good. I mean, he did one take and I was like, okay, can we, I just gave him a little bit more pointers, I'm looking more for this kind of style. And then he said, okay, I think I know what you mean. And that was it. What you heard was the next take, straight through. He just nailed it.
Wow. So there's me thinking it was you. I'm sorry for that assumption.
No,
but you obviously were directing that, and it was your musicality that was encouraging that to be there.
Yes, because I just could not have. I wanted that authentic feel, even though there may have been a way to reproduce that from my side, but I just wanted the real thing, and even now we just get so excited when we hear that bit, because it just sounds so gorgeous.
It really does, doesn't it? It's a really stunning track. Thank you. Is this one that you play live or not?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we've played it because it's from the first album, so
yes,
quite a few years old, but it's still like one of the sweetest ones.
Yeah.
Yes, there is.
We often do collaborations with people, and conscious dance or yoga, and after the relaxation or during the relaxation, it's often a chant that will kind of sing into the space while they're in the relaxation, and then they're invited to come up and join us. So that's one of the ways that we bring that chant in.
After the relaxation, when they're ready to just sort of start sitting up and coming out back into the real world, start joining in with us. It's just a beautiful moment.
And are you likely to be playing this on the 22nd of October in Bournemouth?
It is possible.
It's possible. Let's see. But do you, and with your yoga training, do you bring chant into your teachings then, Lila?
I do. I mean, Kundalini Yoga actually it is a yoga that's kind of, it's got the asanas, the physical postures, but it does also, it's quite rounded in its expression, and there is a lot of chanting in Kundalini, which is, I think, probably why I was drawn to it, because it's got everything. It's got the physicality, it's got the energy. Oops, sorry, we just spilled the water.
Anything else going to fall over there?
Just a sign of cleansing, purifying. So we do sing and chant in the yoga as well.
Yeah, absolutely perfect. And where are you based? Where are you in the UK? Yeah.
We're in London. Yeah, we're in South London, Crystal Palace area. And
but you travel.
We travel.
Yeah, we travel everywhere. We're coming to Bournemouth soon. So yeah.
So yeah, how we got inspired to invite you down to find the reason, though I shouldn't really have needed a reason, I should have just done it, but was this connection with Rebecca Campbell, who's the best-selling Hay House author of Rise, Sister, Rise, and she involves a lot of sacred chant and mantra and ritual in her workshops. And at the last one that I went to, she was actually at Living Now events down in Dartington Hall in Devon was the last one that I was at, although she was also in Conscious Living events last October as well. And I was just getting a sense how lovely it would be after a full day's workshop, not for everyone to disperse, because it's such a powerful thing to do a workshop of that caliber together, but actually to have a reason to then to continue the day. And I mean, not everyone will want to do that. And it was also nice to include some other people that weren't able to be there on the day, but those that want to actually to continue that vibe and to come in and to do some sacred chanting with you. So I got very excited at that point and was really pleased that you were free and able to do this for us. And like you saying, doing like collaborations, where does the song want to be next? How can it be used? Where is it beckoning us to, and what does it want to synergize with, and all of that. So it's a day workshop for women, Rise, Sister Rise, but also I'm fascinated with divine masculine. So here we have Arnhem talking about that and singing it and being it. So it'd be lovely to invite some of our conscious brothers into your evening performance as well. Yeah. So are you a yoga practitioner as well then, Arnhem? Do you do that?
Well, I've done yoga on and off for a very long time, and for many, and so I haven't trained in any teacher training or anything like that, but I practice every day. Especially at the moment, I just got inspiration to do a 30-day yoga challenge sort of thing, so I'm on day 21 now. I'm really enjoying it.
Very good.
I'm just always in touch with yoga in some way or the other.
Yeah. And you're saying, because we currently have physical bodies, our spirits need our physical bodies to be healthy and clear, so that we can be the vehicle to take our spirit around on this plane. So it is important that we take care of it. And you were saying that having a challenge. I'm on a 100-day primordial qigong challenge at the moment, and I'm on about probably about day 39. I'm not counting it, I'm just doing it. and loving that discipline, but also then being able to watch or feel what's happening in my system internally, but also what's happening in the external world as a reflection of that. That's interesting, isn't it? When you work on yourself and then things start to occur.
I firmly believe that I grew up in India, so yoga isn't just a set of exercises you do on a rubber rectangle. It's just not that. It may look like it, but yoga has actually it's got 8 limbs, and one of the limbs of yoga is bhakti yoga, which is chanting sacred sounds, singing to one's version of God or goddess or divine, and that is just as important as physical exercising. So for me, there's no separation. There's no like, oh, I just did yoga and now I'm going to do chanting. No, it's all of it's yoga, if that makes sense, And that could include qigong, as you said. It could include tai chi, or any form of martial arts or any discipline, or just maybe even taking your watercolors and doing a painting where you commit to something. That commitment is what makes it into a yogic practice, whatever it may be. It could be a relationship even.
This is so true. The connection between qigong and yoga, it's China and Japan, isn't it? Really, that's what we're talking. But qigong meaning energy cultivation work. It's the best that you can do, and exactly the cultivation of the energy, which is what you're doing with yoga practice. And you can then put it into your paintings or your any kind of craft. It becomes a focused discipline, an expression of love. You know, you're doing this because you love it, and
Absolutely.
it's wanting to come through you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So where did you get your name from, Illumina? There's got to be a story there. There's got to be, what should we call ourselves? The Lila and Arnhem show? No.
Well, we did have a funny name to begin, didn't we?
Yeah, well, it was my corny idea.
It was just a really corny idea, and I was like, I'm not sure about that. But
Oh, go on, you're going to have to tell us what that is now.
Oh, it was. We thought about. Thank God we didn't go through it. We thought about calling ourselves Cosmic Whispers. In the very early days. Again, this is back in the 30s. And
but then we were listening to all these wonderful artists, and one of two of the artists were David Ramel and Mitten, and they do this really gorgeous version of Illumina, and
it's a Spanish song to the ayahuasca spirit, and their version is so beautiful that we just thought, that would.
I think we just fell in love with the song. We just kept singing it and singing it and singing it, and then it just became clear. Oh, that's the name. That's the name. Illumina.
Yeah.
Illumina, not Illumina. Illumina.
Well, I mean, it's a thing. I mean, pretty much everyone who reads it thinks it's Illumina, because we say illuminate, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Illuminate. So it's fine.
But we like to say the Spanish way.
We like to say the Spanish
way. The way we heard it.
Yes, of course. I like that. The different pronunciations. I get that with my name as well. It's Clara, and in Spain it's Clara. It's like very clear, and it's all about clarity. And it's like, I don't mind how you say my name. It's entirely up to you. It's only a name, and it's only words that we pronounce. So it's fun to have ones that are a bit ambiguous. There's no right way or wrong way. It's just how it wants to come through. So that's quite funky that yours has got that too.
Yeah.
That's really good. So where are you taking things to next? I mean, apart from obviously coming to Bournemouth on the 22nd of October, you've got what's happening in the Lumina camp.
Yes. Well, we've just come away from a fabulous retreat we did in June into July, and it was so fun, and people were just so loved it so much that we thought we must do another one. And so we're gearing up for another retreat in mid-October. So that details are on our website, and absolutely, if that sounds intriguing, go and check it out. And we're always doing gigs, of course, events, gatherings.
We do a lot of collaborations, actually. It feels like, it feels lovely for Illumina to, she feels like a she, for her to play with others and other people's offerings. We're doing an event towards the end of this month with a friend of ours who's mandala dance, ecstatic dance facilitator, and another friend of ours in September. She does yoga, and another friend who also does yoga and various other things. So we love kind of weaving this Illumina offering with others, other beautiful flavors of spirit.
I mean, that's there, and then obviously our own events, concert-y style events are also there. So it's quite a rich and varied. We're fortunate in that we can. Our musical Illumina is it's not like a one-dimensional musical entity. We're fortunate in being able to do a lot of different kinds of musical.
Oh, the other thing I just thought of as you were speaking about that is that we are singing at two lovely friends of ours, their wedding at the end of
Hello. So the network dropped and Zoom keeps dipping in and out. So we're just going to go for a little tidy up the interview with lovely Lila and Arnhem here, and hope that it doesn't drop out again. So Lila, you were just telling us about a wedding that you were going to be doing, which sounds amazing. Just to have you guys at a celebration like that, it's really really special. So lucky people. And if people want to find out more about you, how do they find you?
It's www.illuminamusic, which is ILLUMINA music.co.uk, or just go onto Google and Illumina chanting and we'll come up. So that's the website address, and that's the best way to.
Good. And network's breaking up a bit here as well, so I don't know how much time we've got left on this, so I'm going to put links to all of that you said anyway at the bottom of your interview on YouTube and on SoundCloud. And really looking forward to you being there on the 22nd of October as well, and this is going to be such an amazing day, so thank you so much for doing that for us. And would you like to introduce so I'm in a bit of a rush, aren't I? I'm worried about the network, sorry. You're so calm beforehand. Technology. We were just talking offline about how our technology can be affected by our energy fields, and that when we're doing high vibrational work and being in this manner, then things get affected by it. So
absolutely.
We have to just keep coming back into our connection to truth and clearing, as you're saying, get a bit more chanting in there, clear it out, chant at your computer if it crashes, that sort of thing maybe. And just keep coming back to your rebooting setting, clarity in the moment, a call to it, a call to letting go of the old. So thank you so much for being part of Chi Time. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you both. Really, really.
Thank you for having us. So good to just be here and connect.
Really.
Absolutely. And what track would you like to play people to finish with, to complete?
So we'd like to leave everyone with a track from our latest album called Devotion, and the track is called Om Tare, which is a Buddhist chant to the goddess of compassion, the goddess of healing. And we've been doing this chant for a very long time, and particularly proud of how it came out in the studio and the recording of it, because we ended up weaving a few other chants into it, and it's just come out a really rich and kind of big journey style track where you can just really journey with it. So enjoy. And
just felt to also say that there's a part in the middle of it where I'm kind of, in a sense, channeling the divine feminine energy and
Bridget.
Of Bridget,
Celtic.
The
Celtic goddess Bridget. So it's a marriage of the Buddhist traditions, which is what we love to do. We love to marry chant very much. You might find a chanter. So this one is a Buddhist chant, and in the middle there's a Gaelic.
The Gaelic
chant comes in.
Yes.
So watch out.
Oh wow!
And it feels very much like bringing in this energy of feminine, which feels like it kind of connects into everything you were speaking about with. It also feels very alive and in the world at this time. This Sister Rise feels very. Certainly in my own experience, my own heart feels like, it's time, come on, Rise.
Oh wow.
And
Thank you.
Rise.
All of us, I know, divine masculine and divine feminine, we are in this together completely. So thank you too for being the beautiful souls that you are and sharing yourself with us here on Chi Time. Namaste.
Namaste.
Hare